Lena wakes with a start, heart pounding in her chest. In the half-light of dawn, remnants of a strange, fragmented dream hover at the edges of her mind, a flicker of Damian's silhouette, a soft hiss as liquid splashes into a glass, her own hand trembling. She shakes her head, trying to dislodge the memory. Downstairs, the kitchenette smells of fresh mango and spinach. Damian stands by the blender, white t-shirt tied across sculpted shoulders. He slides a tall glass of vibrant green smoothie across the counter. "Morning, love," he says, voice smooth as silk. "Thought you'd like something light." Lena's throat feels dry. As she lifts the glass, a faint metallic tang reaches her tongue. She pauses. "Did you add anything different?" Damian smiles, eyes warm. "Just a new powder, helps with focus. You've been so busy with your art, I thought it might help." He brushes a hand down her arm. His touch is comforting, familiar. She takes a sip. The taste is oddly bitter, like crushed aspirin. She says, trying to sound nonchalant. "It's interesting." He tilts his head, studying her. "You'll get used to it," he jokes, then leans in for a kiss. But Lena's mind feels clouded, her thoughts swimming in fog. Words thrum at the edge of comprehension, but she can't grasp them. Over breakfast, for breakfast feels distant now, Lena stares at the page of her sketchpad. She'd meant to sketch the light dancing on the mango tree outside her window. Instead, she can't remember how the leaves looked. She blinks, shakes her head. Damian offers reassurance. "You're tired. Remember how hard you worked last night on that gallery piece?" She blinks again. "Yeah." The memory feels muted, a painting hung behind a closed door. She nods, gives him a wan smile, and reaches for her phone. Her calendar is full, calls, gallery deadlines, meetings. But as she tries to open the ideas note she kept for character sketches, the app glitches and closes. By mid-morning, Lena's head swims. She apologizes to Damian and retreats to her studio, a converted loft filled with paints and canvases. She tries to paint, but every brushstroke jars like an unfamiliar rhythm. Colors bleed together. Shapes warp at the corners of her vision. She sets the brush down, chest tight. "Maybe you should lie down," the soft voice of Damian echoing from the doorway jolts her. He stands there, hands in pockets, eyes concerned. Lena nods, focusing on the rhythm of her breath. That night, she drifts into uneasy sleep, dreams flickering, a dark liquid in a glass, lips curled in a cruel smile, and a memory, hers, warning, warning. Lena wakes in a cold sweat, disoriented. Sunlight slants through the blinds, but her bedroom feels cavernous and alien. She can't recall the hours between dinner and now. Panic surges. Slipping out of bed, she fumbles for her phone. Messages from Damian, "Hope you feel better. Let me know if you need anything." Beneath them, a flood of social media notifications, likes, comments, tags, but the faces blur together. She can't remember why any of it matters. A headache pulses as she moves downstairs. Damian is already there, brewing coffee. "How are you feeling?" he asks, voice soft with concern. Lena's hand shakes as she reaches for the mug. "I don't know." She swirls the coffee. No bitter tang today, just familiar comfort. She takes a cautious sip. He watches her. "You've been through a lot with the gallery launch. You need rest, Lena." She nods, but something in his tone makes her bristle. Too insistent. She straightens. "I'm fine," she says, trying to sound firm. He smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. "Of course. Just let me know if you tire out." The day passes in a haze. Lena experiences tiny lapses, starting a sentence and forgetting her point mid-phrase, walking into the studio and blanking on what she intended, misplacing her sketchbook only to find it in the freezer. She blames stress, exhaustion. In the afternoon, she texts her friend Rachel, "Can you come by? Feeling off." Rachel replies almost instantly, "Sure, give me 20. When Rachel arrives, Lena tries to explain. Rachel peers at her. "You look glazed." Did Damian slip something into your smoothie again? Lena shrugs, defensive. No. He's treating me like a hypochondriac. Rachel's eyes narrow. You sure you don't want me to stay? Lena hesitates, some primal doubt whispering in her ear, but she shakes her head. I'm okay. Really? As Rachel leaves, Lena feels a wash of relief. And guilt. She gulps water, presses her palms to her temples. The walls seem to breathe, closing in. Later that evening, Damian returns from a late meeting. He envelopes her in a hug. I arranged for Dr. Patel to come by tomorrow. Nothing serious, just a routine checkup. Lena stiffens. I don't want a doctor here. He pulls back, concern etched on his face. It's important. For peace of mind. She looks away. I said I'm fine. He sighs. Okay. But if you change your mind. He leaves the sentence hanging, the unspoken threat palpable. Lena watches his retreating back, heart pounding. Is she sick? Imagining things? Or is someone tampering with her mind? She slips into bed clutching her pillow, the room spinning. Morning light breaks through heavy curtains. Lena jolts awake to a buzzing phone. She frowns at the notification, a new voice memo labeled 0 minutes and 0 seconds, saved at 2:47 a.m. Her fingers tremble as she taps to play. A distorted murmur, then a clear whisper, her own voice, don't drink anything he gives you. The words hang in the air like a guillotine's blade. She rewinds, listens again. The tone is breathless, urgent, pure panic. She pauses the playback, heart hammering. Who recorded this? When? How did it get on her phone? A knock at the door. Damian's voice, hey, babe, breakfast's ready. Lena scrambles to close the voice memo. She leaps up, pressing her palm to her mouth. I'm not hungry. Concern flickers across his face. You barely touched your lunch yesterday. She musters a weak smile. Just don't feel well. He puts a hand on her forehead. You're burning up. I knew you needed rest. Her pulse races. Does he know about the memo? She tries to maintain composure. I need some fresh air. He nods, worry in his eyes. Go ahead. I'll be here when you get back. Outside, the city bustles, indifferent. Lena's mind whirls. She can't trust her memories, or her senses. She ducks into a cafe, orders water. Pulls out her laptop, opens the voice memo app. She exports the file to an encrypted drive. As she works, she recalls a fragmented conversation from last week, Damian joking about psych experiments and behavioral tweaks. She shakes her head. It sounded like dark humor at the time. Now it twists in her gut like a snake. A barista refills her water. Lena grips the glass, notes the weight, the clarity of the liquid. She's never been so aware of how something as simple as a drink can carry danger. Her phone buzzes again, a text from an unknown number, watch your back. No signature. Her breath catches. She stashes her laptop, gathers her courage. She'll confront this head-on. But first, she needs more evidence. Later that afternoon, the doorbell chimes. Lena's heart skips. She opens the door to find Miranda, Damian's sister, standing there in designer jeans and oversized sunglasses. Hey, sis, Damian's voice rings out behind her. He steps forward, arms wide. Miranda, perfect timing. Miranda sweeps past Lena into the living room, eyes bright. How's my favorite artist? Heard you've had a rough couple of days. Lena forces a smile. I'm getting there. Damian claps his hands. Great. I made us all a batch of my signature wellness tonic. He holds up a pitcher bubbly with green flecks. Trust me, you'll love it. Miranda arches an eyebrow. You know I'm skeptical of your experiments. She smirks at Lena, but I'll try anything once. Damian pours 3 glasses. Miranda leans forward to take hers, Lena takes the middle, and Damian picks up the last. The afternoon sun streams across the coffee table, casting long shadows on the hardwood floor. They sit, and for a moment, everything is ordinary. Miranda chats about their mother's birthday coming up, Damian brags about closing a big deal in Tokyo. Lena nods, laughing when appropriate, but her skin prickles. She glances at the glasses, each one the same, but she senses something different about hers. Conversation drifts to Lena's art. Miranda studies her intently. "I saw your latest work online," she says. "Haunting." Lena shrugs. "It's personal." She reaches for the glass. Before she can lift it, her phone buzzes in her pocket. She checks it, a news alert about a mysterious poisoning case in another city. She frowns, looks up. Damian is watching her. "Everything okay?" he asks. She swallows. "Just tired." He smiles reassuringly. "Drink up." Lena picks up her glass. The green liquid shimmers. She brings it to her lips, then hesitates. She places it back down with a soft clink. Damian's brow furrows. "You don't trust me?" She forces a laugh. "No, it's you." Miranda laughs too, but her eyes flicker with something unreadable. After Miranda and Damian retreat to the terrace to admire the late afternoon glow, Lena remains in the living room, heart hammering. Through the glass doors, she sees Damian pouring himself another tonic. He hands one to Miranda, then, noticing the empty spot inside, turns back to the kitchen. Lena slides one hand into her pocket and retrieves her own glass. She exhales in slow rhythm, her pulse pounding in her ears. Every instinct screams at her that this is the moment, either she acts, or the truth vanishes again. Softly, she crosses to the counter. She lifts the glass that Damian prepared for her. Carefully, she tips it, pouring the contents into a potted aloe plant, a harmless sacrifice to her own survival. The liquid seeps into the soil with a muted drip. She steps back, hands trembling. She watches Damian and Miranda giggling at something Damian said, through the glass. Their glasses catch the dying light, emerald and shimmering. Damian raises his. "To family," he toasts. Miranda clinks her glass against his and drinks in one long pull. He follows suit. Moments later, Miranda blinks. 1, 2. Her eyes roll back, and she collapses to the floor with a muffled thud. Damian shrieks, rushing to her side. "Miranda." Lena stands frozen for a heartbeat, then her survival instincts snap her into motion. She yanks open the sliding door. "Someone call an ambulance," she shouts, her voice cracking. Damian looks up at her, panic and fury warring in his gaze. "What did you do?" She kneels beside Miranda, checking her pulse. It's rapid and erratic. She pulls out her phone, dialing 911. "Yes, my sister's fainted. No, I think she's poisoned." Damian grabs her arm. "Stop it. You're making this worse." Lena yanks free. "Don't touch me." She crouches, voice steady despite the chaos. "Stay back. Help is on the way." As sirens wail in the distance, Lena realizes the game has irrevocably shifted. She has the proof she needs, and Damian knows it. The stakes have never been higher. And as she cradles Miranda's head in her lap, Lena makes a silent vow: she will uncover every secret Damian has buried. Or die trying. Sirens wail closer, growing from a distant thrum to an urgent howl. Lena clamps the phone between shoulder and ear. "Yes, my name is Lena Carlisle. I'm at 1128 Maplewood Drive. My sister just collapsed, please hurry." She drops the phone into her pocket and kneels beside Miranda, pressed cold tile against her cheek. Her fingers tremble as she checks Miranda's pulse, thready, rapid. She presses her other hand to Miranda's forehead, it's burning. From the terrace, Damian bursts in, face etched with panic. "What did you do?" he demands, voice tight. He reaches for Miranda's arm. Lena flinches, pulling away. Damian scoops up Miranda, cradling her like a child. She's my sister, of course I'm helping her. He fumbles for his phone, pressing it to his ear. Lena watches him, too afraid to turn away. Seconds stretch into minutes. Finally, red and white lights flash through the windows as paramedics pile in. One kneels beside Lena, another takes Miranda from Damian's arms. Patient's unconscious, possible poisoning, Lena blurts. The paramedic nods, checking Miranda's airway. Did she ingest anything unusual? Lena glances at Damian, whose eyes are wide with terror, or is it guilt? She drank what he gave her. Damian steps forward. Wait, that's not fair, Lena's upset, she's saying anything. His jaw tightens. Miranda has a history of fainting spells. The paramedic frowns. We'll need blood and urine samples, she tells Damian, then to Lena, ma'am, thank you. Can you step outside? Outside, Lena leans against the wall, chest heaving. A nearby neighbor tugs on her shirt. What happened? Are you okay? Lena forces a nod. I think she was poisoned. The neighbor's eyes go wide. Poisoned? Are you sure? Lena's hand tightens into a fist. I'm sure. Inside, Damian trails her, muttering under his breath. This is going to ruin me. Lena squares her shoulders. Better than ruining Miranda. He looks at her, dark frustration flickering. You're going too far. She meets his gaze. No. You did. Paramedics wheel Miranda out on a gurney, Damian follows, gripping the rail. Lena trails behind, watching the life drain from her sister's cheeks, her own anger igniting into steely resolve. When the ambulance doors close, Lena pulls out her phone. She taps a new note, collect evidence. Never trust Damian. She checks her watch. The night is young, and her investigation has only just begun. The hospital corridor smells of disinfectant and FIA. Lena rushes after the gurney, bursting into the emergency cubicle as nurses swarm around Miranda. Damian reaches for Lena's arm. Please, he whispers, voice low, stay calm. Everything will be fine. Lena tears free. Stay out, she snaps. You did this. A doctor, steel-rimmed glasses sliding down his nose, finishes inspecting Miranda's fore. He rises, clearing his throat. Lena Carlisle. She steps forward. Yes. I'm Dr. Albright. Your sister's blood work shows a high concentration of scopolamine, commonly used as a date rape or memory-impairing agent. He pauses, letting it sink in. She was lucky, without immediate treatment, this could be fatal. Lena feels ice water pool in her stomach. Scopolamine. But Damian, he's my boyfriend. The doctor nods. I'm afraid your sister's case is part of a pattern. We've had 2 other patients this month with identical symptoms. He taps the chart. We've notified the police. At the word police, Damian paled beside her. He stammers, I mean, I called because I was worried. Dr. Albright fixes him with a stare. We need to test all drinks given to her. He looks to Lena. Have you retained the cup she drank from? Lena digs in her purse and produces a small plastic cup, edges still flecked with green. The doctor withdraws a pair of gloves. This could be vital. Damian's jaw clenches. He leans close to Lena, voice low, destroy it. Now. Lena straightens, slipping the cup into a biohazard bag. No, she says firmly. It stays. He grips her arm tight enough to bruise. You'll regret this. Before she can react, Dr. Albright intervenes. Damian, please step away. The doctor seals the bag. We'll run a full toxicology, but I'll warn you, this substance has distinctive markers. As nurses wheel Miranda away for observation, Lena stands in the hallway, heart pounding. Damian's threat rings in her ears, you'll regret this. Instead of fear, something new ignites, a fierce determination. She pulls out her phone, dials Officer Ray's number saved in her contacts. Detective Ray, she says when he answers. I need your help. It's about a poisoning, my sister's in critical condition. Lena can't sleep. In the pale glow of midnight, she creeps into Damian's study, a glass-walled room lined with servers whirring softly and walls plastered with flowcharts of brainwave analyses. She presses her palm to the door, the biometric lock clicks open. Inside, the air hums with technology. Damian's laptop perches on the desk beside a stack of thumb drives labeled Tweaks 01, Tweaks 02, and more. Her pulse races. She slips behind the desk, heart pounding as she plugs Tweaks 02 into her own phone. A file browser opens, folders named Dosage Logs, Subject Responses, and Incident Reports. She taps Dosage Logs. The first file, a spreadsheet titled Lena Case. She opens it, date stamps, times, and dosage amounts. Her name is listed with doses administered on days corresponding to her bad memory spells. A soft creak behind her makes her freeze. She whips around, no one there. She gulps, then grabs the drive and tucks it into her coat pocket. From outside the door, she hears footsteps. Damian's voice, late night work. Lena hurries to slip out, barely suppressing a racing heart. She steps into the hallway, pretending to stretch. Damian rounds the corner. He studies her, can't sleep. Lena forces a yawn. Still wired from the hospital. He nods, but his eyes flick to her pocket. She clenches her jaw. Don't worry about it. He sighs. Look, I'm sorry about Miranda. Her eyes flick to his. You're sorry? You did this? He glances away, a flash of shame or regret crossing his face. That experiment was supposed to be controlled. I never meant for her to collapse. Lena's blood runs cold. Experiment? On my sister. He opens his mouth, then closes it. She steps back. You're out of control, Damian. He straightens. I can fix this. She shakes her head. No more. She hurries past him, heart pounding as she descends the stairs. Over coffee the next morning, black, no additives, Lena pores over the thumb drive's next folder, Subject Responses. There's a subfolder named Ava Cross 2019. Her breath catches as she opens it, dozens of photos of Ava, intimate moments, smiling in Damian's studio, laughing with Lena, followed by an autopsy report. Cause of death, acute scopolamine toxicity, psychotic episode induced. Lena's hand shakes. Ava was Damian's ex-girlfriend who died under tragic circumstances, at the time, ruled a mysterious breakdown. Her phone buzzes, a text from Officer Ray, meet me at precinct at 2 p.m. Got your message. Lena's mind races. She drafts an email to Detective Ray, attaching the Ava Cross folder. She types, Detective, I have evidence that Damian poisoned Ava and Miranda. Please see the attached files. Lena. She hesitates, then hits send. Moments later, her phone rings. It's Miranda, weak, but awake. Lena. I remember flashes. Damian's laugh. And the drink. Lena's throat tightens. You're safe now. I promise I'll make him pay. Miranda's voice trembles. Be careful. Lena ends the call and leans back, mind spinning. Ava's face on the screen, her eyes filled with betrayal, mirrors Lena's own shock. She closes the laptop, determination hardening in her chest. Detective Ray's precinct is a stark rectangle of fluorescent lights and buzzing phones. Lena clutches her folder as Ray gestures her into a small interview room. Why you, Lena? He asks once the door clicks shut. She exhales. Because I survived. Ava didn't. She lays the USB drive on the table. He tested it on her first, mild doses to observe memory loss, then increased until she snapped. Ray plugs the drive into his laptop. This log. It's time-stamped. You have corroboration. Lena nods. A screenshot of Miranda's lab report. And my own blood work from the ER. Plus the smuggled smoothie cup. Ray studies her, respect mingling with concern. You're brave. She forces a humorless laugh. Desperate, more like. He nods. I'm opening a case now. We'll execute a search warrant today. Outside the station, Lena breathes in the cool air. For the first time, the weight on her chest eases, not because justice is done, but because it's finally in motion. She pictures Ava's smiling face, Miranda recovering, and her own shattered trust forged into something unbreakable. As she walks away, her phone buzzes with a message from an unknown number, "You'll be next." Lena stops, eyes frozen on the screen. Then she tucks the phone away. No more fear. Only resolve. Lena sat at her dining room table long after midnight, the only light in the loft the cold glow of her laptop screen. Around her, the city slept, but her mind churned with data: Ava's autopsy report, Miranda's toxicology results, Damian's dosage logs. Each file was a shard in a weaponized puzzle, and she was assembling the weapon. She opened her encrypted cloud drive and dragged the Tweaks02 folder into a new share link. A soft click, the files were now accessible by anyone with the URL. She copied the link. In the next tab, she drafted an anonymous tip to a prominent investigative journalist, text sharp and concise: source provided evidence implicates tech entrepreneur Damian Carlisle in the poisoning deaths of 2 women, his ex-girlfriend Ava Cross and his sister Miranda Carlisle. See files. Please investigate. She paused, finger hovering over send. Her heart pounded. If the journalist leaked the tip before she had full protection, Damian would suspect her. But if she waited, evidence could vanish. She clicked send. Moments later, her phone buzzed, a reply from unknown: "We're looking into this. Thanks for the tip." Relief flooded her, mingled with dread. She shut the laptop and walked to the sofa, cradling a pillow like a talisman. A loud knock startled her. She jumped, heart pounding. Glancing through the peephole, she saw Officer Ray's silhouette. Hesitation warped her face. Ray at her door at 1 a.m. could only mean one thing. She opened the door. Ray stood in rain-speckled coat, eyes solemn. "Sorry to wake you," he said quietly. "Notebook cleared, you were up. We need to talk." She stepped aside, closing the door behind him. Her loft felt suddenly too small, every corner concealing his secrets. Ray folded his arms. "I got your email. And the journalist's source called me this afternoon. They're digging in." Lena's stomach clenched. "So it's public?" He nodded. "I won't lie, things are moving fast. A search warrant on Damian's study is being drafted." He studied her face. "Are you prepared for what happens when this blows wide open?" Her gaze hardened. "I didn't start this to back down. I want him exposed." Ray's stern expression softened. "Good. Because now he knows we're onto him, and possibly you, too." He tapped her shoulder. "I'm assigning 2 officers to watch over you and Miranda. You're target number 1. Lena swallowed. "Thank you. I appreciate it." Ray turned to leave, then paused. "Get some rest, Lena. Tomorrow we plan our next move." She closed the door and leaned against it, pulse racing. On the coffee table lay her laptop, the gateway to Damian's downfall. But for the first time, she felt the weight of looming retaliation. The shadows in her cloud had grown teeth, and they were hungry. Morning light filtered through thin hospital curtains in room 402. The antiseptic scent was overpowering, but Lena would have welcomed an ocean breeze. She sat beside Miranda's bed, clutching her sister's hand. Miranda's eyelids fluttered. She inhaled sharply, as if waking from a deep abyss. Her gaze landed on Lena's tear-smudged face. "Lena." Her voice was cracked, fragile. Lena squeezed her hand. "Hey, you're awake. You had us all worried." Miranda's brows knitted. She looked around, confusion flickering. "Why am I here?" Lena swallowed. "You fainted. The doctor said you were poisoned. With scopolamine." Miranda's eyes widened. "Poisoned? Who would do that?" She tried to sit up, but winced at the 4 in her arm. "Don't move," Lena urged, gently pushing her back. "You're safe." She paused, searching her sister's face. "Do you remember anything?" Miranda's gaze drifted. Her fingertips trembled. I had the green drink. Damian made them. Then everything went black. Lena's jaw clenched. Okay. That's enough for now. Just rest. She sat back, heart pounding. A nurse peeked in. Visiting hours are over, she said. Time to let her rest. Lena rose. I'll be back after the day shift. As Lena left, Miranda asked softly, Lena. Is he responsible? Lena paused in the hallway. Shadows lengthened in the quiet corridor. Yes, she whispered. That evening, Lena met her tech-savvy friend Malik in a dim cafe known for anonymous chatter. Over steaming mugs of ginger tea, Lena outlined her plan. I need to capture Damian admitting guilt in his own words. Malik's eyes gleamed. Smartwatch mic is unencrypted, easy pickings. He tapped his phone. If we can pair it to a hidden recorder, we'll get clean audio. He won't know. Lena nodded, adrenaline surging. He's arrogant, thinks he's uncatchable. Malik slid a small device across the table, a microwire recorder with Bluetooth relay. Clip this onto his watch band, and it'll transmit to this. He held up a discreet receiver. How do I get close enough? Lena whispered. Malik smirked. I'll craft a fake, partner appreciation, gift box, tech gadgets for him. Tomorrow, I'll deliver under your name. Lena's stomach flipped. I hate deception, but I want this. He grinned. Welcome to espionage. Back at the precinct, Lena and Officer Ray convened in his small office. Ray spread out hospital reports, thumb drive logs, and Malik's device. This dinner party you're hosting, Damian won't suspect a thing, Ray said, eyes sharp. We'll park 2 cars nearby, listen in on the recording. When he admits intent, bingo. Lena's palms sweated. And Miranda. Ray's expression softened. She'll stay with a family friend tonight. Can't risk her near him. Lena exhaled. Okay. But what about the legal side? He'll lawyer up fast. Ray tapped a file. We've got probable cause. Between the dosing logs, the toxicology reports, and your testimony, we have enough for an arrest once we have his confession. He stood. Go home, get some rest. Tomorrow night, you'll bring down Damian Carlisle. 2 nights later, Lena's loft glowed with warm light. Crystal glasses gleamed, a low chassis sound system filled the room with soft jazz. She stood by the entrance, wearing a sleek black dress, herself all elegance and purpose. Damian arrived first, impeccably dressed. He greeted her with a kiss on the cheek. You really outdid yourself. She smiled, heart pounding. Thank you. Glad you could make it. Ray lingered near the back, police ID tucked in his jacket. Malik stood by the bar with a gift box. From you, Lena mouthed to Damian. He opened it to reveal a set of smart home gadgets, perfect cover. As Damian examined the items, Lena poured each guest a flute of champagne. She filled her glass last, careful to avoid the bottle Damian used to mix his tonic. Miranda's empty chair loomed like a silent judge in the corner. Lena thought of her sister's pale face and tears of betrayal. She straightened. Damian raised his glass. To new beginnings. Lena lifted hers, Malik's mic clipped neatly behind her dress. To honesty. Their glasses chimed. Damian drank deeply, unaware. He cleared his throat, voice smooth as a knife. You know, I've always believed people need a little push to overcome their limitations. Malik's receiver blinked. Lena's pulse sped. As I told you, Lena, Damian continued, eyes glinting, my methods may seem extreme, nudging memory here, erasing doubt there, but it's all for greater good. Ray's voice crackled in Lena's earpiece, we're recording. Stand by. Damian laughed and sipped again. Some call it manipulation. I call it optimization. My sister was a test subject, unwitting, of course, but necessary. Willing participants make me question ethics. Lena's jaw tightened. You drugged my sister. Conversation halted. Damian's smile faltered. It was a controlled dosage. Suddenly, red and blue lights flashed outside the window. Doors burst open as officers streamed in. Ray stepped forward. Damian Carlyle, you're under arrest for attempted murder, involuntary manslaughter, and administering a controlled substance without consent. Shock, fury, fear, each flickered across Damian's face. He glanced at Lena, betrayal and rage in his eyes. As handcuffs clicked shut, Lena exhaled, relief and sorrow twisting in her chest. The fallen mastermind had fallen indeed, all by his own words, recorded for justice. Lena's loft buzzed with tension as the final guests trickled out. The air smelled of jasmine and spilled wine. She and Detective Ray stood by the doorway, watching Damian's retreating back as he stepped into the night, unaware that 2 patrol cars idled in the alley, engines off. Inside, Malik and an evidence technician dusted the study for prints and collected empty bottles, including Damian's special tonic. Lena's heart pounded. This was no private victory, it was the opening act of his downfall. She caught Ray's eye. He nodded, and she slipped away to the terrace, where the night air felt like a baptism. Moonlight danced on the wrought iron railing. She remembered how confident Damian had been just hours ago, how he'd toasted his own ingenuity. Now he was the one under scrutiny. Ray approached quietly. He'll remain in custody tonight. We're prepping the warrant for his mansion tomorrow. Lena exhaled. Good. She stared at the distant city lights. But tonight. Can I just breathe? He cracked a faint smile. You've earned it. They stood in silence, 2 allies amid victory's calm. Lena's phone buzzed, a text from Miranda. I'm stronger every day. Thank you. She typed back, almost there. Love you. Ray cleared his throat. Lena. She looked up. He offered his hand. Come back inside. We need to secure your statements before dawn. She hesitated, then took his hand, letting him guide her through the door and toward the next step of the battle. At dawn, the precinct's conference room was a war room. Whiteboards bristled with photos, timelines, and yellow evidence tags. Lena sat between Ray and the district attorney, her palms pressed against her folder of exhibits. Ray tapped a speakerphone. Recording from defendant's smartwatch, October 12 at 10:15 p.m. A low hum filled the room, the clipped, confident voice of Damian Carlyle. Damian, yes, sis, the formula's purer now. The memory gaps are shorter, more precise. She won't suspect until it's too late. But it's for her own good, optimization. A hush fell. Lena's throat tightened. The DA leaned forward. He admits intent, admits design. This is gold. Lena closed her eyes, images flashing, the soft hiss of blender blades, the smile he wore before she switched the glass. She opened them. He called it optimization. Ray pressed stop. The voices in the room resumed, legal strategists planning charges, police officers coordinating search warrants for Damian's home and LabCorp offices. Finally, the DA stood. Lena, you've done incredibly well. Go home, rest. We'll call you when we need more. Lena rose, shoulders unsteady but determined. As she left, Ray caught up. He slipped her a sealed envelope. Your subpoena for the final hearing, keep this safe. She tucked it into her coat. Thank you. Outside, the sun broke over the skyline, casting long shadows. For the first time since Chapter 1, Lena felt that true justice was near. But she knew the hardest fights were still to come. Midday traffic snarled around Damian's mansion as armed officers formed a perimeter. Rybay Road was shut down, neighbors watched from behind police tape. Lena arrived with Ray. They approached under the watchful eyes of uniformed officers. She clutched her subpoena, heart pounding. Could she face him again? A sergeant opened the front gates. We'll notify you when it's over. They walked up the marble steps. Ray paused at the door. I'll be right outside. Lena nodded, breath shallow, then knocked. The door swung open, revealing Damian in a rumpled shirt, eyes wild. Behind him stood Miranda, recovered, though visibly shaken, clutching a blanket around her shoulders. "Lena," he said, voice cracking. "What is this?" Lena swallowed. "Detective Ray has a warrant." Ray and a dozen officers swept in. "Damian Carlisle," he announced, "you're under arrest for attempted murder, manslaughter, and administering a controlled substance." Miranda's face crumpled. She whispered, "You did this to me." Damian sagged, shoulders folding. He looked at Lena. I'm sorry." Lena's heart threatened to break, but she held her ground. Sorry doesn't fix blood tests or death certificates. Officers cuffed him. Cameras clicked. Neighbors peered from behind cameras and windows. Damian crumpled against the wall, head bowed. Ray stepped forward. "Miranda, can you identify him?" Tears filled her eyes. "Yes." As they led Damian away, Lena and Miranda exchanged a look, sorrow and relief mingled. The nightmare was ending, but the healing was only beginning. Back in her loft, Lena sank onto her sofa. The room was quiet for the first time in weeks, no beeps of lab machines, no whir of blender blades. Just the soft hum of the city through open windows. Miranda settled on the love seat across from her, blanket wrapped around her like armor. "I want to say thank you," she said, voice small. "You saved my life." Lena blinked back tears. "I should have believed my get sooner." Miranda shook her head. "You did what anyone would do. You fought." She paused, looking around. "What now?" Lena took a deep breath. "Now we rebuild." She patted the cushion beside her. "Come sit." Miranda moved over, leaning into her sister's side. Silence settled, a healing, peaceful silence. That evening, Lena cracked open her art journal. She sketched a simple empty glass on a windowsill, its clean surface reflecting the moon. Under it, she wrote, "Truth remains." A soft knock sounded. Malik slipped in, bearing a mug of tea and a small canvas he'd painted, a portrait of Lena, eyes fierce, holding a broken glass. "Thought you might like this." Lena smiled through tears. "Thank you." Malik shrugged modestly. Team victory gift. They sat in companionable quiet, two friends bound by battle. Outside, the skyline glimmered with possibilities. Weeks later, Lena stood in her sunlit kitchen. The blender sat on the counter, empty and harmless. She placed fresh fruit, spinach, and plain yogurt inside. No powders, no experiments, just the simplest ingredients. Miranda appeared in the doorway, coffee mug in hand. "Morning." "Morning," Lena replied, hitting blend. The word was comforting now, a regular sound in a normal life. She poured the smoothie into 2 glasses and handed one to Miranda. They sat at the kitchen bar, clinking glasses. The liquid was sweet, familiar. Lena raised hers. "To new beginnings." Miranda nodded. "And clean slates." They drank. The sunlight warmed the loft, the months of terror felt like a distant storm. Lena finished her smoothie and placed the glass on the counter. Alone at the bar, she cradled the cup in her hands, eyes closed. No whisper of toxins, no cunning smile waiting in the shadows, only peace. She set the cup down, turned, and walked toward her studio. Canvases lined the walls, each a testament to trials overcome. On one blank canvas, she picked up a brush, dipped it in lavender paint, and began to paint, soft strokes that blossomed into petals. As she worked, her phone buzzed with a text from Officer Ray, "Case closed. You're free." She smiled, heart light. She paused, then added a single petal to the canvas, a quiet mark of resilience. In the window, the mango tree caught the morning light. Lena glanced at its branches, remembered the glass that started it all, and whispered to herself, "No more secrets." And with that, she painted on, every brushstroke a step further from fear, toward the bright, unsuspected dawn of her new life.